I am addicted to cookware. When I say cookware, I really mean the whole body of kitchen equipment. Pots and pans, stand mixers, food processors, bakeware, cookware, barbecues, electric griddles, every piece of cookware you can think of is my obsession. How did I get like this? Look at these. They're baking cups with little flowers. I need to make some cupcakes so I can use them. They're 24 in here. Aren't they cute? Oh, here's some from fall. They're little leaves. So what's up, cooks? It's Wednesday. I'm sitting here in the living room and I see behind me, you see those right there? Those are the drawers that came out below my double oven. There was 3 drawers down there and we had a cabinet maker modify one to go in the bottom and then so the oven can stay in there. So those are the other 2. I'm not sure what to do with those. I'm kind of afraid to get rid of them because I know there's going to be a time where I'm like, I wish I had that, because if I have some kind of issue with some cabinet drawer, I'll be like, I wish I still had those drawers so I could fix it with one of those. So I'm thinking about keeping them. I just don't know exactly where to put them. So I have to find that. So right now they're sitting in the middle of our family room of all places. So I figured since it's Wednesday and I haven't had an opportunity to go live, just because of busy work and everything else in life, I figured I'd do a little chat to talk about some of the things that are going on. And particularly, I've been getting a lot of questions about what's up with my obsession with cookware and kitchen gadgets. So I thought I would talk about that a little bit, where that came from and where it's going, right? First off, I'd like to welcome anyone who is a new subscriber. I have a lot of new subscribers lately. And I just want to welcome you. And also I want to say, hey, what's up to everybody who's been here for a while, has been watching and supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. This is a really fun hobby for me and Eric to learn to cook. And it's been so much fun bringing you along for the journey. So thanks for joining me and welcome to all the new subscribers. So the question that I always get is, what's up with this obsession with me and cookware and kitchen gadgets? And I think it goes back a lot of years. It started, like I have said in the past, it started with me just liking shiny pans, right? And it moved to all kinds of kitchen equipment and everything for the kitchen, actually. For a long time, all I did was shop. I didn't really use the stuff that much. I didn't cook that much. There was only 5 to 10 dishes that I even knew how to make. And when my kitchen collection got to the point where I'm like, hey, I have a fully equipped kitchen, right? And then some. I was like, I really need to learn how to cook. And this was in my 40s. Yeah, it wasn't really till my 40s where I decided that I want to start. 1, I wanted to learn to cook because it was challenging for me. And 2, I wanted to start getting off of packaged ingredients and moving to fresh ingredients. And so those were my motivations. I was tired of my only choices were going out or pre-packaged food from the grocery store, and I wanted to move away from that. So I moved from shopping the center of the store to shopping the perimeter. Because if you think about that, most of the basic ingredients are around the perimeter of the store. The produce, the meat, the dairy, the breads, the bakery, all the basic ingredients around the outside. So the more I started eating from ingredients instead of from packages, the way I shop changed. I go into a store, I go around the outside, and I only go strategically down some aisles to pick up basic ingredients like flours and better than bouillon, right, and beans and rice and stuff like that. I keep a lot of our shopping to the core. Now that I've done that, I've come to find that I'm not sort of struggling, but I am struggling because I'm buying all these ingredients, and when I work all day, I get home and it's like I don't feel like going through this big cooking thing when I've been working all day. So now I'm sort of at the phase of wanting to change that habit of me using packaged foods. And now I have to figure out a way to take those fresh ingredients and make them into my own packaged foods that are freezer-based, that are refrigerator-based, that are grab-and-go, that will allow me during the week to get something on the table for us to eat and not take a lot of time. So, like I say, your cooking will change over time. Your desires about what you want out of it will change over time. And that will really change how you, your strategy, what kind of equipment you need, what kind of shopping you do in the supermarket. It will change all of that. So this is my new double oven. So, I hosted a little get-together this weekend, and I'm running everything through the dishwasher so I can put it away in the cabinet. Those are the little bowls that I used. I made a salad bar. So I'll show you some highlights of that in a few days. So, by way of quick introduction, my name is Amy, and I am teaching myself how to cook. That's why it's called Amy Learns to Cook. The name came one day we were out on a camping trip and Eric said to me, "Ha, you can't cook, right?" And I said, "Amy is going to learn how to cook." And that's where it came from. It's a silly name, I know. It just sort of stuck and I just never changed it. So it's Amy Learns to Cook, whatever, right? My husband, Eric, helps me in the kitchen. He does some prep for me. He washes dishes. He's in charge of the dish pit, right? And he runs the camera. He does a lot of editing, and he is like my biggest motivator. At times, I feel like giving up. I get frustrated. I cook something that just doesn't turn out the way I wanted to. And there are literally times where I say, forget it. I'm just going to go back to packaged food because it's just not working. And he keeps me going, and he says, just try again, right? Because he basically will eat anything. So that's where we started. And this is it's been a journey for me for years. My cooking has improved. You'll probably see that. Some people have said, they've left me really nice comments saying, Amy doesn't learn how to cook. Amy's already learned how to cook. And that's because I put in years of teaching myself literally one recipe at a time. I always tell people, they look at these huge cookbooks full of beautiful dishes, and they look at Pinterest and they look at all that, and I tell them, ignore that. Choose one thing and start with that and teach yourself how to cook that. Cook it one time, cook it 2 times, cook it 3 times, and by the time you cook it a couple times, you make modifications each time, you will grow to love and the way you cook that, and you become an expert on cooking that, and then you can put that into your rotation. So if you add one recipe a month to your arsenal, by the end of the year, you will have 12 additional dishes that you put in your rotation. Yeah, you say 12 things, right? But if you're like me and start out with 5, and you only have a limited time to teach yourself how to cook, start with one recipe. And you will be surprised over time. You could say, I'm going to do 2. I'm going to do 2 recipes a month. By the end of the year, you'll have 24 more recipes that you're great at making. Then you can start over time increasing your equipment. And over time, you will have a kitchen that when you want to make a recipe, you have everything you need equipment-wise to do that. Because I was at the point where it was like, I want to make this recipe, so I don't have this. I don't have this pan, or I don't have this tool, I don't have this. And so when I want to make it, it's like, oh, I got to order this. And then you order it. And by the time you get it, you've passed on to that, passed off that recipe, right? So map out the things that you want to make a list, and work one at a time getting the equipment you need to make that. And you will get to the point, I'm telling you, at least by the end of the first year, that you will have in your arsenal a lot of things that you need to cook a lot of things. You can start out with one pan. You could be a brand new cook getting a new kitchen and start out with, 2 pans, some plates, right? And some silverware. You can start from there. And every time every month add a piece of bakeware, or every month add something. And next thing you know, you will have a fully equipped kitchen. Ooh, it has been raining for days. It's chilly out here, and it's supposed to be April. Woo! Okay, I came outside to get some fresh air, and it's a little cold out here. So I know you're asking, why cookware? Why kitchen gadgets? It's kind of a strange thing to be obsessed with. And pretty much the why is, it's my hobby, right? I have always been obsessed with like pretty shiny things, and shiny cookware just attracts me, right? Not only that, I love shopping. So my hobby started out with just me buying cookware, and I wasn't really a big cook. Like, I didn't cook a lot. And I got to the point where it's like, okay, I pretty much have equipment. I have a fully equipped kitchen. What am I going to do with it from here? The wit. And from here, I was like, I need to teach myself how to cook. I literally had only like 5 things that I knew how to cook. So I knew it was time for me to put all this stuff to good use. Ooh, now it's starting to rain. You hear that a little bit? So, it went from starting my obsession to the point where it did get a little bit out of control. I have a lot of stuff. I think the key is to make sure you keep everything clean and organized so you can find everything. I'm kind of in a unique situation because I am actively teaching myself how to cook. So it may be that someone wouldn't necessarily have like the type of collection that I have. Like me, I'm obsessed with mixers. So I have like all these mixers and all these brands. A regular person really wouldn't have that. I have that because I love stand mixers, and I'm obsessed with trying them out and looking at the features and all that fun stuff. So your average person is not going to have like as many stand mixers as I have. So like with any hobby, you kind of want the latest and greatest. You want all the techie stuff, whatever, that will make the hobby funner and more exciting. And that's the same with kitchenware. You will get to an area of cooking that you really enjoy, and then you tend to want a lot of tools to go along with that. That's just the nature of the beast. So I get a lot of questions like, how do you afford all this stuff? And the only thing I can tell you is that I have had this obsession for 15 or 20 years, and my collection has grown over the course of those years. So you can look at it and you can say, oh my God, look at the pan room. How could I ever, have an equipped kitchen like that? And a fully equipped kitchen does not come in a day. It takes years to develop your cooking style, your preferences. So you develop your cookware and your kitchen stuff over time. You might buy something, enjoy it for a while, and then decide that, it's not that useful for you, and you can pass it along to another new cook who's experimenting. Just because you get something doesn't mean, you might be using it forever. You might use it and then give it to someone else and they can benefit from that. You enjoyed it while you had it, right? So I wouldn't think of it in terms of, I got to go out and equip my kitchen like this, because your cooking is going to evolve. So you don't necessarily know how I'm going to cook now is how I'll cook later. You might buy an electric pressure cooker and love it for a while, but maybe your lifestyle changes and you want to dive into more complex dishes and you want to be more involved with the cooking process. So you might move away from one of those and send it along its merry way for someone else to enjoy, and then move on to the equipment as your cooking changes or your lifestyle changes. So it's not necessarily, that you have to buy all this stuff at once. You develop your skills and you develop your collection over time. Woo! It's getting cold out here. One of the pieces of advice I can give you is cooking is not just a phase. Cooking is something that you're going to do over the course of your entire life. So when you buy a kitchen gadget or you buy something that makes the job easier for you, it's a purchase to your lifestyle, right? It's a purchase for your hobby, and it's a purchase for your change in your lifestyle. You're moving towards fresh ingredients, and you need these things to be able to prepare food. So it's an investment to me. It's investment in a choice in terms of your eating and a choice in terms of your hobbies. It is really cold out here. I'm ready for it to warm up a little bit, and it's just not doing that. It's warmed up enough to make the grass grow, but not warm enough for us to get out here and dig in the dirt because, it's freezing. It's supposed to rain this entire week. Oh, so over here the wind is not ripping through me so hard. So what we did about a year ago is we made a decision to move away from a subdivision and move sort of out in the country, if you will. We bought a property with 2.5 acres, and our goal is to start growing some of our own food. We are not doing this to be preppers. We're not doing this for any other reason but to change our choices in terms of the things that we eat. So we moved away from packaged foods. We moved towards the outside edge of the supermarket towards the ingredients. And now we're taking that another level to expand those ingredients. Because when you're only eating out of the grocery store, there's very limited varieties of things that you have choices of because they make decisions to stock what transports, stores, and looks good on the shelf, right? So when you go in the produce aisle, there's only a few varieties of tomatoes and a few varieties of squashes and a few varieties of lettuce. And you will come to where you want to expand your choices. You don't always necessarily want the pretty, perfectly round and red tomatoes. You want to vary the flavors and the colors and the textures of the tomatoes to expand your cooking horizon. And that's what we're doing. That's why we're doing this. We're going to be growing some gardens. We're going to be playing around with different varieties. Woo, that sun, that wind is getting into my eyes and making them water. We want to get into different varieties. We want to change up our eating, and we don't want to be limited to just the choices that the corporate buyers have decided to give to us. We want to make those choices limitless. So we're going to be looking into growing things that are outside what you could traditionally get, your basic varieties. We will be growing some of those basic varieties because right now we're in the testing phase, right? We've never grown from seed. We've never done any of this stuff. If you're interested in any of that stuff, we have a homestead channel where we will be doing projects around the house and we'll be doing gardening. That's Blue Ridge Mountain Homestead. I'll leave a link down in the description for that if you would like to follow us on that, our journey for that. All the cooking is going to be on Amy Learns to Cook, and the equipment stuff and all the homesteading stuff and the gardening stuff will be over on Blue Ridge Mountain Homestead. So that's why we did that. We really wanted some space to grow some stuff that we can really take our cooking to another level. So, welcome to the channel. Thank you for supporting us. If you've been here all these years, we've had so much fun playing with kitchen gadgets. And welcome if you're new to our channel as well. Whoa, it was cold out there. I got Rudolph nose. So yes, I am obsessed with cookware. And yes, at times you may say that it's a little out of control. Yes, I love stand mixers. Yes, I use all my hobby money for cookware and kitchen gadgets. But you know, that's what I love to do. So if you enjoy cooking and you enjoy gadgets, go for it, right? Just make sure to keep yourself organized and use the stuff, right? Get that stuff out of here. Get those stand mixers out. Get those bread machines out. Get the Instant Pots out and start cooking. Shop the outside of your supermarket where the ingredients are and not where all the packaged food is. Get in the kitchen and start cooking. Even if it turns out bad, the more you do it, the better you will get. And every single time you will improve. I just want you to know that you do not have to cook Pinterest. You have to cook what you enjoy, what you love, and get better every time you do it. And that's all it's about. So thanks for joining me on this little talk about cookware and where my obsession comes from. And thanks for joining me on this journey. There's a lot of things that I want to learn how to cook, and I struggle because every recipe is hard for me. I'm right there with you on the struggle to learn how to cook. It's not easy, but we're going to get there right. We're going to get there one recipe at a time.